The suspected gunman in the New Zealand mosque shootings live streamed a video of the attack for 17 minutes. It was streaming, and then it quickly spread on Facebook and other social media sites. So on Saturday, a spokesperson for Facebook New Zealand wrote on Twitter that the social media platform removed 1.5 million videos of the attack. 1.2 million of those videos were blocked before they could even be uploaded.
That's right. Facebook followed up by saying, quote, "Out of respect for the people affected by this tragedy and the concerns of local authorities, we're also removing all edited versions of the video that do not show graphic content." Joining us now from Chicago is Brian Barrett. He's a CBS News contributor and news editor for Wired magazine. Good to have you.
Hi, thanks, guys.
So explain, before we even dig into this, explain for our audience, how does Facebook actually take videos down?
Sure. So it follows sort of two different paths. If it's a video that has never been on Facebook before, for example, a live streamed video, they have to wait until someone flags it. Another user sees it, they flag it, and then it gets reviewed by a content moderator. And that moderator will take a look and say, does this break our policy or not? Once they have identified a video that they know does not belong on the platform, or they've decided doesn't belong there, they can put sort of a digital fingerprint on it, basically. So they can say, anytime that anyone tries to upload the same video, we're just going to block it before it even gets on the platform.
Okay, so your colleague, Izzy Lepowski, actually wrote an article about this. I'm going to quote a portion of the article. Izzy writes, "The Christchurch massacre has people wondering why, after all this time, tech companies still haven't figured out a way to stop these videos from spreading. The answer may be a disappointingly simple one. It's harder than it sounds." Is it that Facebook could not stop this or did not stop it?
Well, I think so. It depends on how extreme you want to get. I saw some people saying, Facebook should block all video content until they figured out how to nip this in the bud. Or you could say, arguably, Facebook, they need to invest more heavily in content moderators. They need more people. They've already hired, several thousand more this year. But then, the question becomes, at what point is there just too much stuff to keep human eyes on? Which is really what Facebook is facing right now and what a lot of us are thinking right now. And not just Facebook, but YouTube also. So I would say they probably couldn't stop it given the resources they have right now, but maybe they should invest more.
Brian, as you may have heard, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern was asked about Facebook's reaction to the video. I want to play her response.
They've certainly indicated they've sent their condolences for New Zealand. They've indicated that they are working very proactively on the sharing of videos and content in the aftermath. They've acknowledged some of the systems that they have already around what they've termed hate speech. My view is there's more that can and should be done.
So Emery and I were talking about this earlier. Why can't, rather than live stream at the very moment that things are happening, why can't there be, just like as there are in some television stations, a 10-minute delay? I mean, generally in TV it's about 8 seconds, but a 10-minute delay. So you're streaming something and it takes about 10 minutes for that stream to actually be live for a person who's watching it. And you're still kind of in the moment. It's not a video that you've uploaded. It's still happening. You're still live streaming, except that you have a delay that allows algorithms and perhaps a set of eyes to take a look at what is actually being streamed.
I think that's a great question. I think in terms of the algorithms, I think the algorithms aren't there yet to be able to know for sure this should or shouldn't be there. And then on the human side, when you think of the scale of Facebook, when you think of the billions of users, many of whom are live streaming every day, it's hard to imagine the number of humans that you would need to be able to preemptively review every single video, which is not to excuse Facebook. It's just the nature of the platform that they've built. I think another question to ask, though, in terms of preemptive measures, Facebook could be doing a lot more probably to stop the spread of hate speech and white nationalist content before it even filters down to people, maybe inspiring them to do things like this in the first place.
So just going on the theory that your parents would always tell you, this is why we can't have nice things. I mean, we lived in a world where we didn't have live streamed video for thousands of years. What would happen if Facebook and some of these other platforms said, you know what, we tried this experiment, it didn't work because people with nefarious intentions, took advantage of it, so we're getting rid of it?
I think Facebook would probably argue, and the other platforms too, that you're also taking away an important outlet for people who live in oppressive countries or authoritarian regimes, that they have a chance to show in real time what is happening to them. But that's something you have to weigh out in the balance. I think that it's something that Facebook should be asking them very hard, take a hard look in the mirror and make sure that it's not a business decision, but it's a real sort of ethical, moral decision, which is sort of what, and then, are those the decisions that Facebook is equipped to make?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
I mean, I'd say, just to Facebook, if that's what their excuse is, I'd say, there are journalists. That's what we do. We go into places that people don't want us to be, and we shine a light on those horrible things that are happening. Obviously, journalists can't be everywhere at the same
and
time.
that would be the comeback for Facebook.
I'm just saying that it
is
sounds like there's so many terrible things on there. It's sort of becoming a cesspool, and
can they manage this monster? And I don't think they can. And the thing about Facebook too, unlike maybe a Periscope or something else, where people log in to watch live video, Facebook is doing so many other things.
Right.
There are times that you're logged in, you're not expecting to see some of the things that you see, and it's sort of foisted upon you.
That's right.
So maybe while they're managing your email and all the millions of other things, and your birthdays and your friends' birthdays, they could put some of that live streaming stuff aside.
For sure.
Well, and I would say, too, the one thing I would add is that, Facebook made a big deal about how many examples of the video they took down. They took down 1.5 million.
Yeah.
But they've also built a platform where 1.5 million people want to share that. And that, I think, is all you really need to know about what they've sort of built.
Says a lot about us, too, I think.
It does indeed.
Right. Brian Barrett, thank you so much.